Okay, well, it's 8 o'clock, everyone. My name is Amber Karen. I am the Director of Communications for Wreaths across America. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully everyone is staying safe and healthy, and hopefully we can help you guys a little bit when you think about your Wreaths across America pages in the coming year. And honestly, for us, just so as a reminder to everybody, these are all recorded, these webinars, and they will be going on our YouTube channel, and that link will be made available after the fact. So if at any point you have to jump off, don't worry. And then obviously our liaisons, our regional liaisons are on the line, and they're here to help if you have questions throughout. You can go ahead and drop them in the chat box, and one of the liaisons can help, or one of the members of the social media team can help. But really, these webinars are designed to be educational. They're here to help you ask questions. There's no wrong questions, and we hope that it's very beneficial to you. I've done a few of these now, which has been great to get to see the people keep coming back, and new people. And they're fun. I mean, it's just nice to know that you have resources available. And so we're looking forward to this conversation tonight. We changed up the topic a little bit. The team that I have here with me tonight is actually on the communications team. We have Sam. Hi, Sam, wave. Hi, Samantha. Samantha is up at HQ in Maine. And many of you have probably met or either heard Sam on the phone or met with her before. Sam is our social media coordinator for locations, and she's really the person who helps everyone out with graphics and getting their pages set up and helping with content for your pages. If you have an existing page and you need help with it, she's a great resource. If you want to start a page, she's also a great resource. So that's Sam, and she'll be chiming in here tonight. And then also right below her here on the Brady Bunch square is Michelle. And Michelle is actually a content strategist. So Michelle does a lot of things, but content strategist means really she does a lot of direct communication with our Facebook and Facebook reps. She does our email strategy and email content and distribution for us. She is a great person to talk to about how some of the rules of things work in social media. I think that's safe to say, Michelle, you're kind of my rule person that I go to when I'm not really sure. And then below Michelle on the Brady Bunch box is Jordan. Jordan is really our content manager for Wreaths Across America. So pretty much all the content you see across all of our channels, she is kind of coordinating all that. So she finds the content, or people send it to her, and she does a lot of the scheduling and managing of the actual pages themselves, which is, a pretty big undertaking for a brand of our size. So together, those three ladies, I really rely on them and their expertise to manage all aspects of Wreaths Across America social media. And they're really going to be the ones who talk with you this evening.
Okay, well,
just because I know enough to be dangerous, but not enough to have all the answers. But these ladies will have most of them. So before we get started, I just want to set a reminder. So where, Julie, because I'm not looking at it, because I'm looking at the webinar screen, where can you mute your line? Is it in the bottom left?
The bottom left-hand corner, there's a microphone button. You'll want to hit that so that you're muted. And then you can unmute later on when you want to ask questions.
Yeah. So we would appreciate if everyone can mute, just so we don't hear anyone's TV or, dogs barking, that kind of thing. Makes it a little easier. But if you have a question, you can unmute yourself, or you could simply submit it via chat. So with that being said, we're going to get going, everybody, if I can figure out how to do that. Okay. So tonight for the July webinar, we're going to really talk about social media and how we can help. It helps us build awareness and ultimately raise Wreaths sponsorships for our locations and groups. So the things that we're going to cover tonight include reviewing the types of social media channels and how they're each used, and then really how to get started and maintain a presence. One of the reasons why we wanted to do this now is Samantha actually recently did a little audit, and we have over 2,100 participating locations, but under 200 location Facebook pages. We found that to be a little bit surprising. That number has actually increased dramatically from last year, but it still goes to show that there's a lot of locations, and keep in mind the number for groups is even smaller than that. And there's over 4,000 sponsorship groups who participate in Wreaths across America. So really, it's an opportunity. It's a, you know, social media is a tool that it can be a little scary if you're not used to using it, and we totally understand that, but we want you to walk away from tonight and kind of moving forward with the resources that you need to get started and feel confident in using social media to help you with your fundraising efforts and awareness efforts in your community. So we'll also talk a little bit about building engagement and reaching new people, and then really utilizing Wreaths Across America headquarters content. I mean, our team is producing a lot of content. That includes, I mean, we're barely scratching the surface of it tonight. I mean, we also have our Wreaths Across America radio channel, and that has its own Facebook page. We have the mobile education exhibit. We create quite a bit of content for that as well that gets shared. We have our newsletters, and we have the blog. There's a lot of content that's available that can be repurposed across social media channels. And then the last piece tonight is that we really want to just touch on the Giving in July virtual concert, which is coming up on Sunday, this coming Sunday, July 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We've been working really hard on this, and we're actually really excited about it. I think it's going to be a wonderful event. And the goal of it is really to help you all to have a tool to get some awareness and ultimately use it to raise sponsorships for your locations and your groups. So we're going to show you how to use social media to do that. So that's really what tonight's going to cover. It's going to be a lot of content, but anything that we can't get to, we have the people here for you to talk to, so we can certainly schedule some one-on-ones with everyone or as needed after the fact. So don't be afraid to do that. So with that said, we're going to talk about social media channels, and I believe this is going to be Michelle is going to get into this. And is that correct, Michelle? I think
that is correct.
Okay.
So since we're talking about Giving in July, and we were kind of feeling like listening to some good music, we turned to our friend and inspiration, Miss Dolly Parton, with the Dolly Parton Challenge. So this is our little take on something she actually posted to her social media channels earlier this year, and the caption was, "Get yourself a woman who can do them all." And we know lots of people out there actually are doing them all for their Wreaths Across America presence. But this is kind of a fun way of looking at what are different social media channels and how do they differentiate from one another, and how can you use them, you know, not reinventing the wheel every time you're going to post in a different place, but a little bit differently so that you are appropriate to the channel and reaching your audience the way you're trying to there. So LinkedIn is a channel that a lot of people sometimes will use for job searching. It's the largest business network for social media. And sometimes this can be really good if you're trying to look up local businesses in your community that you might want to connect with for sponsorship, find out, you know, who are the people behind those businesses and connect with them. Definitely not something that you necessarily need to spend a lot of time on, but it can be a really good resource for you. And we do have a Wreaths Across America company page there that you can follow and stay up to date with what we have going on, especially from a corporate sponsorship or outreach to transportation company perspective. Facebook is probably our biggest channel at Wreaths Across America, certainly one where we see a lot of traffic coming in, a lot of engagement coming in. And that really is because this is one of the places that people are looking to kind of build community on a virtual level, especially this year. It's actually the world's third most visited website. So only Google and YouTube sit ahead of Facebook. And, you know, if you're not familiar with Facebook, if you don't use it, you certainly don't have to, but it can be a really great place to connect with people that are local in your community, volunteers, sponsors. A lot of communities have local Facebook groups where people might join to, you know, buy and sell or buy nothing and share things with their neighbors. And it can just be a really great way to actually get to know the people that might be, you know, living just down the road, but you haven't had a chance to meet them in person or hang out with them recently. So we're going to talk a lot about Facebook tonight. Instagram, definitely something that we're looking at from a headquarters perspective to do a little bit more outreach to a younger audience. Instagram is really all about photography, but it does tend to appeal to a much younger audience. And one thing that we've seen some locations do with some success there is using Instagram's location tagging to share some photos from their ceremony, which is nice because that doesn't just live in that moment where social media can be kind of fleeting sometimes, but is actually something that people might find if they are looking at locations near them or they happen to be visiting your cemetery for other reasons. And then Twitter, you know, definitely something that a lot of people really like. It's very fast moving, generally a lot of short text-based posts, sometimes with a link or a photo or video, but doesn't necessarily have to be as visual as something like Instagram. And it's very popular with journalists. So if you're ever looking to connect with media in your local community, Twitter can be a good resource to just kind of start to understand who those people are on a personal level and the types of things that they might be working on.
So to what Michelle had to say, to add to that, so we're going to really focus a lot on Facebook tonight, just because if you're only going to do one thing. So for instance, if you have, I mean, we know you are all volunteers and I am not a volunteer, but we have a lot of Facebook pages and we have a lot of social media channels, and it can be a lot to keep up with. So if you can only do one, we would recommend Facebook, because I think Facebook is the most versatile for what the audience that we're looking to gain and to engage with. And I think that a lot of people tend to further to your point, Michelle, so when you're looking in a community for start time to ceremonies or information, is the ceremony still happening? It's snowing outside. You'd be surprised how many people are going to go to Facebook to try and find that information first. People use Facebook as a search tool. It's where people get a lot of their regular news. So we're going to really focus on Facebook tonight. That being said, we're not discrediting or saying that the other channels aren't valuable. It's just a lot of content to cover in one night. If you have interest in creating any of the other pages, if you've established Facebook and you want to do more in Instagram or LinkedIn, please reach out to us and we can certainly help you do that. And there is certainly value in those other pages, but to Michelle's point, the audiences are a little bit different. So for those purposes, we're going to kind of focus on Facebook tonight and go from there. So on that note, I don't know who's talking about Facebook, but I'll let you go. Oh, hi, Sam.
Hi. Okay, so we're going to start with creating your Facebook page for your location or group. It's super easy. All you really need is a personal Facebook account. You have to log in and you'll go to pages or click create at the top of your page and click create page. They'll give you a couple options. You'll want to choose your business or brand as your page type so that you can choose nonprofit when the category time comes. In an effort to make all of our pages easier to find, we've been suggesting that you name them Wreaths Across America - your location name or your group name, just so it's something easy for people to look up. If they search for just your location name, your page will probably pop up too. After you name your page, it's going to ask you to choose a category. And instead of choosing like a business or a community, you'll want to choose nonprofit. That'll give you more options for your buttons later on. And then all you need to do is choose a profile photo and a cover photo. Both of those I'd be happy to help create custom graphics or send you the logos for your profile photo.
Sorry. Hold on, just kidding. Didn't mean to change.
No, you're pretty much. But that's really all it takes to set up your Facebook page. It's just a few short steps. and just a few pieces of information. You'll want to make sure that you enter your name correctly because you're not always able to change it immediately after.
So I was going to actually try and end the show, Sam, so I can show you some examples of some pages, if that's okay. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to pull up, so this is a group. So, and one of the things that I know Angela, I saw Angela's on here right now, and this is Arkansas Run for the Fallen. So this is an example of, this is not a Wreaths Across America page. This is a group page. So as a sponsorship group, if you, you know, if you're your own nonprofit as a $5 back group, and you want to use Wreaths Across America as a fundraiser for your organization, we highly encourage you to use your existing page. So for instance, this is Arkansas Run for the Fallen. Angela Beeson, who's on, is, I won't put you on the spot, Angela, but I personally really like this page for a lot of reasons because—
To refresh it, it has a new Wreaths Across America radio share.
Oh, good.
I just did it 5 minutes ago after the pin post, but.
But the reason why I'm showing this page is that it's a great example of staying on focus for the mission. So what they do really well is they focus on their mission, but they also utilize their page where they have built a following for, and they do a great job of highlighting local veterans who are laid to rest in their Arkansas cemeteries, which I think is just a great way to honor the memory of these men and women. And then what they do is they share when they have opportunities. Like here's an example of they're sharing their direct link to their page, and they're sharing information about Wreaths Across America and a direct link for people to sponsor Wreaths on their page. So it's content about Wreaths Across America and their fundraising for their sponsorship group as part of their larger effort. And I think that's a great example for sponsorship groups who might be less wanting to create a Wreaths Across America specific page. And I understand that, especially if you're a nonprofit yourself or a civic group yourself, it makes sense to just utilize Wreaths Across America content. But we really encourage you, anytime you share any Wreaths Across America content, make sure to share your direct link to your sponsorship page. Another option here, another one is Miramar. I think I saw Brenda on here. So Miramar National Cemetery, this is a great example of a location page who's utilizing the content that's being provided on a month-to-month basis via our messaging app. I think Brenda, I think that you're one of the first people I see who looks to use and share the content that we put out there on a daily basis. And it's just a great example of, taking what it's already being provided to you and sharing it there. Another example, Camp Nelson, Wreaths Across America Camp Nelson, I think they do a fantastic job of sharing. They do a pretty good job of creating their own custom graphics that is not necessarily always Wreaths Across America content. I actually think this is a great page that sometimes I'll tag Jordan for us to share content from Camp Nelson's page because I think they do a great job. Here's a great example of America Strong, which is one of our hashtags. And it's a local story, a patriotic story about teaching kids how the proper way to do the national anthem. And that's not necessarily content that's specific to Wreaths Across America, but it's specific to us, and that, America Strong is a hashtag and a message that we're trying to get across. So those are just some of these examples. And that being said, I will go back to this. So I just wanted to share a couple of those. Sorry to interrupt you.
And I'm going to jump in on kind of on top of what you said about content, Amber, while we were talking about it. We do like to share on this is Jordan, and I run the content on the HQ page. So the Wreaths Across America official Facebook page. Amber will tag me in things, people tag me in things, and we share it to our 300,000 plus followers. And we love nothing more than sharing content from these group and location pages. So if you can get some nice, unique content out there, if you share a media hit that you are featured in, a nice graphic that you found, something that is interesting, is patriotic, tag me, you're welcome to friend me on Facebook, tag Amber, and get it in front of us, because we would love to share it on the HQ page, and then your page gets those eyes that the HQ page has. So It's a really easy way to get that exposure.
Yeah, absolutely. Good point. And honestly, for you, Jordan, it helps you because we have a lot of content that needs to be shared for a page of our size, the official page, and we're always looking for positive, heartfelt, good stories. And sometimes that's hard to find, especially in this world. So if you are aware of something that's happening in your community, I have a lot of folks that will tag me or send me a direct link on my personal Facebook page. And please do that. Don't ever hesitate to do that, because Wreaths Across America official page would love to share that and then give you guys the exposure. So I'm gonna move ahead now.
Oh, this is Renee. Can I just jump in there too?
Oh, hi, Renee.
Like corporate.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hey everyone. I just also want to say that like Facebook is a really great way to showcase any sort of partnerships that you may have or corporate support. And it's just getting other eyes in your community, seeing who's supporting. So shout outs like that. And I know that we can also help with any sort of graphics that you may need. If you need help with that, I know that we can help you with that as well. And just staying relevant, you know, if you're able to showcase hometown heroes and maybe that's a weekly thing you're showcasing a hometown hero. I know that we talked about it in other webinars, how to schedule things. I know Sam is really, really great at doing that, and keeping it really relevant to your area is what's going to create those hometown stories too. But definitely showcasing any sort of corporate support that you have, because that is a tool, and tagging those corporate partners that you do receive in your posts is really going to get more eyes that follow that corporate page, as well as, you know, people seeing who's supporting the mission as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Learn more button.
Okay, so on that last slide, it actually said that you would choose nonprofit so that you'd be able to have a donate button, but Facebook changed some settings and we're no longer able to have actual donate buttons. But what we found is a great way to direct people to your location or group's fundraising page is to add a learn more button. So once your Facebook page is set up and created, underneath your cover photo, you'll see a blue button that says add a button. And then it'll open up and give you some different options, and you'll want to choose learn more. You don't want to choose shop now or anything, because it makes people seem like they're getting a product when they're doing a sponsorship. Mm-hmm. And then all you'll need is the URL to your location's fundraising page, which you can get right from our website. And then you just copy and paste into the URL spot and click finish, and you'll have a learn more button. So when people click that, it'll take them right to your fundraising page, and they don't have to worry about sponsoring to a different cemetery on accident.
Yeah, and it's a great way. We actually have a learn more button on the Wreaths Across America official page. We're trying to change that to a donate button just to be for the official page, but for you all, learn more is also a great place because you're already using your dashboard, and which is where your website link will bring you. So you can really customize that to be whatever information is relevant for your location or group. So it's a great tool. Okay. So now customizing your page and sharing content.
So this is just where you're going to add all of the information about your location. It can have your the address of your location, your contact information, information about your ceremony. There will be a spot to add your story. We do like for you to have the Wreaths Across America mission, as well as just information about your location or your group. And then posting content, that's the next step. You know, ask questions, share about your community. That's what people want to hear about. Jordan, I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah, so this is kind of where I come in. So back to what we were talking about, right? So sharing things that are relevant to your location. Renee touched on a bunch of good ideas, sharing those hometown heroes. So there's really, I would say, no wrong answer when it comes to content, unless, well, I'll say almost no wrong answer. We all need to try to stay away from anything controversial, political, etc. I think that kind of goes without saying at this point, but all the positive stories, videos, you can go live, you can share your own personal story. There are a lot of really great options, even just within Facebook posting a survey. And our team is here. We're not going to go through every single piece of content, but there's an endless possibilities. And our team is here to kind of help you work through that. If there's something you want to share and you're looking for a creative way to do that, that's what we're here for. So we do recommend posting frequently or consistently, I guess. I guess we have here 3 to 5 information posts. So per week, I would say, is kind of our recommendation. So making sure that you're not creating a Facebook page and then letting it sit there silent, I think is really important, but also being mindful of your audience and not inundating them with 100 posts a day. So kind of, it's reading the room and reading your audience and seeing what they're responding well to. And if you post something that's really heartfelt and they really responded to it, or one of those videos of those kids saying the Pledge of Allegiance and people respond really well to that, then you kind of take a mental note and say, I'm going to find more stories, more videos like that, and it will perform well with your audience. So again, we could talk forever about content ideas. Sam does send out the monthly messaging guide, so that's a really nice place even just to start. But I know people like Brenda will grab it and schedule it out through the entire month, and that is kind of like a hands-free thing for the rest of the month. You have this awesome content. If you haven't seen it, definitely take a look at it. I know Sam puts in any holidays that are coming up for the month, even holidays that maybe you weren't aware of. There's the Army birthday, there's things that are more like not as well noticed, just like the 4th of July and Christmas, etc. So those can be really helpful, even just to kind of like spark your thinking for what to share. Yeah. Oh, and I know we said this too, but any media attention that your location or your cemetery or a veteran in your area gets, all really, really nice content to share. So. And
it's also nice when if you share any media, especially if it's media coverage about your location or group, it's great to tag the media itself. So if a local television station came out and did a feature, make sure to tag them and say a little thank you. That's going to go a long way, so that come Wreaths Across America Day and you're looking for local media support, you can go back to that reporter, and if not, that reporter's not there, then that media, and they're going to be more likely to remember you. So it's just, that's always good to, and you can and that's something that tagging is just making sure if you're friends with somebody or you're following somebody, when you start typing their name or start typing their business, it'll pop up as being basically like a link to their page. So they know, and that you're sharing their content, and their audience can then see that information. If there's any questions, I'm not following chat, so liaisons, I don't know if there's any questions that need to be raised before we go too far into recruiting supporters.
There are none in the chat. They're good.
Okay, great. I think, Michelle, are you going to?
I have one.
Oh, go ahead.
On the radio site or the station,
yeah.
Is that only on the Facebook page? Is it only, what do I call this? Can you only get to it by being on the Facebook page?
No. Wreaths Across America Radio is a 24/7 internet radio program. You can get to it several ways. I can see Susan Patton in her kitchen just dying to tell you about it. So Susan, I'm going to let you go. How can you listen to Wreaths Across America Radio, Susan?
As long as the dogs don't bark, right? Yes, you can go to Facebook, our Facebook page, Wreaths Across America Radio Facebook page. There is a Listen Now button there. You can also pick up a smartphone app if you are smartphone equipped. Okay. Then you can pick up the either TuneIn or Simple Radio app. And then you can search at that point for Wreaths Across America Radio. And then you can also, if you're equipped, go ahead and Bluetooth that to your vehicle as well, if you're capable of doing that. And then you can listen online as well at our website. So it really all originates back from our website, and that's wreathsacrossamerica.org/radio. scroll down just a smidge on that page and then hit the play button, and we're right there, or at least we should be if all things
But
work
don't
well.
worry, Patrick, with the new, when our new front end gets done, there'll be a listen now radio button right on the top of
See,
every page.
One of the reasons I asked that is because I don't have Facebook.
Mhm.
Actually, I don't have Twitter. I don't have Instagram. I don't have any of that stuff.
All right, but you've got radio, right, Patrick?
I do that. I mean, I do a lot of Zoom stuff, a lot more than what you guys think. But I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to, so I've got a bunch of people that don't have computers.
Mhm.
So, but they might have a radio or
Yep,
a way to get to a
absolutely.
radio. So, I mean, if they're a World War II vet or a Korean vet, most of them do not have computers. We normally,
Or smartphones. Yeah.
we're doing,
If you don't have a computer or a smartphone, then in fact that channel probably is not available, because we are not currently available like terrestrial radio is available. We are working on pitching some of our canned content per se to terrestrial radio stations for them to pick up the stream, and then to also carry some of our pre-packaged program. And we're talking about providing Veterans Day coverage for radio stations that are standard terrestrial stations that can just take a pre-packaged product from us and produce it. We're working on Veterans Day, Wreaths Across America Day, of course, because every terrestrial radio station would want to cover Wreaths Across America Day, and other holidays like that. So we are working on working partnerships.
where I say they don't have computers, most of them have like smartphones.
Yeah,
Or
smartphone's
iPhone,
the way to
whatever.
go. Yeah, smartphone's the way to go with those apps. Again, it's a
Thing is
tune in or simple radio.
I mean, I was on with some other veterans the other day, and I was talking to a guy, and he goes, they don't even, most of them don't do Zoom. And the reason they don't do it is because it's a Chinese company.
Right.
And, you know, so I go, well, I'm looking at, it's a media source or a source to go to meetings and do different things with. So that's just one way.
I can connect you, Patrick, directly with Susan. I have your email, and if you have questions about the radio, we can certainly get you guys.
I can figure the radio out. What I'm going to do is it's going to go in my newsletter. I'll put it in there as a website.
Yeah, and we can send you a bunch of links on how they can download it too.
Linking it. But see, besides doing we do a printed copy of that. We also do a online copy.
Right.
So I don't know. It goes out to probably a couple hundred veterans.
Nice.
All right, cool.
Okay,
Michelle, recruit. Thanks, Patrick. Moving on to recruiting supporters. I don't know. Maybe Michelle, it's not you. I don't know. I apologize.
Well, I can definitely speak to that. So, you know, Facebook, and I think to some extent, all of these social media channels, you know, really what these are serving as is just a place for humans connecting with humans. And I think that's an important thing to keep in mind. So having that page is just a vehicle to be able to make some of those connections. One great thing to do, obviously, if you're already on Facebook and using it, invite your family and friends to like your page, stay up to date with it. And that's the easiest way to start getting people usually is folks that might already know about your involvement with Wreaths Across America. But I would also suggest a number of other things that you can do to try to start building up support. So Facebook pages actually now can join Facebook groups if the groups have their settings set to allow pages to join them, or you as the admin of that page can share content from your page into Facebook groups when it might be appropriate to do so. And, you know, I think when you have some of those local stories, I love that story about the kids baseball team doing the Pledge of Allegiance, because like kids just get me. And that's, you know, that's the sort of content that people like to see and share on Facebook. So, you know, feel free to start tagging your friends in those, and that's how stuff starts to kind of gain some steam and get people interacting with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would think another good way to letting people know, this is Renee again, I'm hijacking you guys, sorry, but I would think in the messaging, if you are new and creating a new Facebook page, maybe sending out an email to everyone that has like donated or volunteers to let them know that you are creating a Facebook page and to like it might be a good way to get because people already, your volunteers know about you. And if you're new to Facebook or any of the other social media, you definitely want to make sure that your volunteers are knowing about it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great example of like, if you are familiar with using the Wreaths Across America system to message your supporters, that could be a great opportunity to send out a message there to those people. So if that's the type of thing that you might be interested in learning more about, that's a great reason to set up a one-on-one or reach out over email to your liaison.
Yep, absolutely. And then once you get the audience, you got to engage with them. That's kind of important.
I can take this one. So it kind of goes along with what I said earlier. You want to create your Facebook page and not post content. So the same thing, you don't want to create your Facebook page and then kind of let it sit there and let people send you messages and comment and engage with you and not engage with them back. So not only is it kind of like the friendly and right thing to do, but it also helps with the back end algorithm and helps get your page in front of even more people and get your content in front of more people. So if you do have a Facebook page, you're obviously familiar with commenting on posts, direct messaging organizations or people. So same thing here, kind of think about what you would want to receive back from your comment. So obviously we do hope for positive comments, constructive questions about Wreath Day. I love this post. This is great. Where can I get more information? A little easier to respond to those with, friendly information, send them to your link, send them the right information about your Wreath Day and where your content's coming from or whatever their question may be. But inevitably, as page audiences grow, so do, negative comments or bots that get in the mix. And if there is ever a question on how to respond to them appropriately, definitely use this team that's on this call to help with that. I think that you would probably rather that than have you respond and be not sure about how you're responding, but always, staying as neutral as possible, staying as polite as possible. And if people do, at some point it happens, get rude or even threatening or use profanity, direct it to us. There are ways to block people in certain instances. Obviously, this is all kind of like a worst case scenario, and most of the engaging is going to be really positive and really exciting and help you get your content out there. But there are, of course, positives and negatives. So again, use this team. That link has those resources. So I know you'll get this slide after this, right, Amber?
Yep, this is available.
Yeah. So regardless, I guess, of if it is good or bad, it's going to be usually good, but make sure you are responding to messages, to comments, even if it's just liking the comment, it goes a long way.
Yeah, and I mean that's a big piece here because anyone can create a Facebook page or anyone can create a social media channel, but if you're not actually active in it and responding to people, then you're going to lose people very quickly. It's just the nature of social media now. Think of yourself as you use social media, as you want to hear back. If you reach out to a store or a brand that you support and they don't get back to you right away, or it takes them 2 weeks to get back to you, you're probably, even if it wasn't a big deal question, you might be a little annoyed, and just keep that in mind. It's customer service. It's an opportunity for you to have a touch point with your audience. So if you're making the effort to build it, you just got to continue to maintain that relationship with people. And that's sometimes the hardest part of having a social media page is just, maybe setting aside, 10, 15 minutes a day or every other day just to check any notifications and go through posts and, whether it's liking comments or responding to people. Just scheduling some time to do that.
I have is you can schedule those posts out. So if you don't have time every day, take an hour a week and schedule them for the week or schedule them for a couple weeks, and then you've taken care of it, but it's not something you have to have on your schedule every day.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right, Angela. And we actually talk about scheduling a little bit further on, because you're absolutely right. That's really the best way to do it. If you know what you take one day a month or one day every couple of weeks and schedule it out and maybe go back and check on things. The busier your page gets, you might need to be more frequent in checking just to see. But if, for me, for instance, and I know folks on this team, you can connect if you're a manager of a Facebook page, you can connect it to your app on your phone and be notified in real time if someone's commenting or something like that. Again, that would be something that if you need any help with, don't call me, call Michelle, Sam, or Jordan, and they can help you to get that set up.
Amber, and
So,
I guess the team, this is Renee again. This is a question. Now, if you have like a committee, a Wreaths Across America committee for your group or location, you can have more than one admin, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that might be a good way to maybe even like have a schedule of people who's kind of monitoring it. If it gets overwhelming for one person, it might be good to say, Sally is going to be monitoring it every first week of the month, and it just might be an easier way to alleviate some of the load, or maybe you have one person on your committee that is the social media, liaison of your committee. So just some thoughts there. But also, as far as like negative comments, and if you are getting them, just remember that, I might read something a little bit different, and I might have a bad day, and I might read something and I take it a little bit differently. And just remember responding to that person might be having a bad day and something just hit them wrong, and they could take honestly any sort of, reaction a little bit different, reading it in their head. So just kind of remember that.
Well, and the best way to deal with folks like that is to take it offline. So direct messaging, if somebody sent something that was questionable or maybe, made you pause, I always recommend taking it offline, sending a direct message, asking for clarity, asking to try and just see if there's something that can be done to help alleviate whatever the issue might be behind the scenes, and don't have it necessarily play out on your Facebook page or on your social media page. Your audience doesn't need to see any kind of back and forth. That's not, it usually doesn't leave a good taste in anyone's mouth, good or bad. It's not necessary. Just take it offline and have that conversation. Okay, so for the purposes of what's coming up this weekend with our Giving in July, we thought it was important to also talk about creating a Wreaths Across America Facebook event. Events are a great way, especially for fundraising efforts, to gain awareness in your local community, also to raise funds. But a lot, like I said early on in this conversation, a lot of people will turn to Facebook and social media as a way to find out what's happening in their community on a week-to-week basis. I do it myself. I always I have kids, and like most people with kids, you look to see what's happening in your community that you might be able to take the kids to just to get out of the house. Things like that. So by creating an event on your Facebook page, whether it's a community event, a sponsorship group, fundraiser, whether it's the Wreaths Across America Day event itself, the ceremony itself, or cleanup, it's a great way for people to be able to search and get the information that they need to participate in whatever you're hosting. It's, given how heavy Wreaths Across America is on events, both virtual and in person, it's really a great tool and something we highly encourage you to use. So with that, I'm going to let the ladies here jump in. We've done this in a couple, I think 4 steps. So
it's super easy to create an event for your on your page. On the left-hand side, there'll be your menu kind of, and you'll click the events option. And once you do that, it'll open up this, and you can click either create event button. I don't know why there's multiple. They both do the same thing. And then that will open up a page where you can add all the information about your event. You can add your photo. You want to name your event and make sure you have the correct address for your location, so it'll populate, and let people know what you're doing and what's happening and when and where.
I will add, Sam, just before we jump onto this, on that last slide, there are a couple of pieces of information, and this always gets me every single time, that need to be filled in or else your event can't be created. You'll keep getting an error, like, need more information. And the one that always gets me is category. So I always forget to put in the category. So it's usually a best practice to just put in, I think it's a nonprofit event or a community event or something like that. But if it is food related, you can put food in there. If it's music related, you can put music in there, but that's the one that I always get stuck on. So if it feels like you're not able to publish it, double check that.
So can I ask, guys, so when you're done, you fill in everything, you hit publish and it goes public, it's public immediately. If you save draft, you can, is it public or is it just something that you can come back to? Just to be clear on that.
Just something you can come back to. But yeah, you can save it and then come back and edit it. And even after it's published, you can come in and change the time or the location and things like that if you need to after the fact.
Cool. And you can have more than one host of an event. So if you're having an event at your local Walmart and you want to make sure that the folks that follow the local Walmart's Facebook page know about your event, you can ask them to be the co-event, or, you know, and invite and have them be the is that the right word? Co-sponsor? What am I saying?
Co-host.
Co-host.
Co-host. Thank you. I'm like, it's not sponsor, co-host of the event. And then that way their followers will see your event as well. So that's a great tool to do if you know that you're going to be with a local brand or a local company that you're going to be doing an event with.
Yeah, and Facebook actually has added some new features for virtual or online events, which I know is probably something folks are looking into more this year. So you can actually add some stuff, like if you're running a Zoom where people are gonna meet up to have some sort of committee meeting, you can include the link to your Zoom right there within the Facebook event so people can find it.
Awesome. And this is just further information about event information. So, you know, photo or video. And this, so when we talk about image sizes, I'm going to tell you, everyone who's watching, don't feel bad if this stumps you. It gets me every time. I don't think in pixels, and most people don't. So don't worry about that. If you have any question about sizing of graphics, or for whatever reason, all social media channels have very specific sizes. And we can create some templates for you. We can create some custom graphics for you. So don't stress about that. If you have any concerns, we can help you there. But the rest of this information is pretty straightforward.
And on that cover photo, I'll add that if you don't have a graphic to put in there, that is okay. You can still create an event. It's going to automatically populate with the cover photo that you have on your Facebook page. So unless the cover photo on your Facebook page is totally irrelevant to your event, which I'm assuming it won't be because it's going to be Wreaths or something like that, it's okay for the time being until you contact us to create a custom cover photo.
That's a good point. And that's it. You click publish and then it's live.
This is Barb. I have a question.
Okay, Barb.
So could we put on a template, Wreaths Across America / Blue Star Moms for our event page? Because we're nonprofit, the Blue Star Moms, and we're doing the Wreaths Across America. So they get both. Does that make sense?
So I think what you're asking is, do you want to have an actual Facebook page for Wreaths Across America Blue Star Moms? And yes, you can.
So when I do my event, I can put both pictures on there, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Asking.
If it fits, and we can certainly help you customize that, Barb.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, this is where, so in talking about scheduling, so Angela brought this up, and I was talking about-
Amber?
Yeah.
This is Karen. Before you go past the event stuff, just a couple questions that I have.
Yeah.
When I create an event for my other life, you actually can also go back in as you get closer to the event or anytime, and you can invite people.
Mm-hmm.
So beyond just posting it, so is that something that you covered so that people know they can do that? And the second thing that I would say is for a very small amount of money, you, for instance, even $5, you can go in and actually create outreach to a demographic so that you can actually reach new people. And I
Yes.
wonder if that's worth talking about.
So in short, yes, to both of those. You can do both of those things. And anytime you have an event, you can invite whomever you want. And that is where it's beneficial to have followers and have your own Facebook page be associated with it, because it'll be people that are associated with you personally or follow the page that you can invite. And then obviously they can invite other people as well. And that's just right when you create the event, there's an invite button. And you can.
If you're the admin, if you're the admin, it will automatically connect with your contact list? Yes or no? Who would know that? Jordan, is that true? Yes.
Yes. So it'll pop when you're creating your event. It'll pop up saying invite. Here are people that we suggest that you invite, and it may be people from your contact list. It may be people that have attended events similar to this, or people who like your page. But yes, when you're an admin, that list of suggestions will pop up, and it's very easy to invite them. It's just a button.
And then for the paid, I'll let Michelle talk to that, but yes, I mean, paid is obviously getting a little bit further along if you feel comfortable putting some money behind trying to identify new audiences. It's a great way to get in front of new audiences is to do paid. Wreaths Across America official page, we do paid promotions and boosting to try and target people that we want to make sure to see our content who might not otherwise see our content. Granted, a little money can go pretty far depending on your demographic that you're trying to choose, but I'll let Michelle speak to that more so.
Sure. So, I mean, paid, Facebook exists to make money. They're a for-profit company. So they obviously want to sell advertising, and they do offer some really easy options if that is something you want to explore. I mean, certainly when you are trying to raise sponsorships, you can oftentimes kind of exponentially make back whatever you spend on paid advertising by just being able to reach more different people. Specific to events, it will have a prompt there for you once you've published an event where will encourage you to boost it, and it kind of defaults to the people that are the fans of your page, or people that are friends with the fans of your page. So that's kind of nice from a just within your own network perspective. But if, for instance, you wanted to reach out to a new demographic, like moms of children that might be Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, because you're looking for some folks to maybe get involved with volunteering. So you can actually get really detailed in targeting like that. And that's definitely something that if you need help with, it's maybe getting a little bit more into the weeds, but we're happy to put together a tutorial on that specifically.
Yeah, and for all of that, and that's a good point, Michelle, all the things that we're talking about, we're really talking high level here, and we do have more detailed instructions. So if you feel like you didn't get enough information from this conversation, we can certainly provide that to you via email, and also, like I said, schedule some one-on-ones.
I don't think people should be scared, because I know when I say this, Amber, I'm as dumb as they come when it comes to this stuff. But I will say this, it is a very easy prompt, and I've seen it. Some of you that know me know that I have the chapel page, and I've really broadened my reach, and you really can. You can narrow it down to within 100 miles, so it can be very, cemetery specific. And then it's an age, and then it's, you can put in keywords, and it does prompt you so easily. And I legit, for like a chapel service that I'm going to have, I'll only put in $5. And when you do that, it will even show you an estimated how many people it will reach. And I think specifically if we're talking about creating stuff for like the event that we're having this weekend to get people to come in to support your page, it's such a good opportunity to do that, because they then can see what you're saying about in the event you create, that you're doing this for this reason, but you can really control the number of people it reach. And then if you put in $5 and you want it to last from now until Sunday, which is when Stem to Stone event is, it will do so much a day, but you actually can see how many new people you're reaching that aren't within your friend group. And it really is super easy. Because if I can do it,
which is
anybody
why
can do it.
Facebook makes so much money, because it's super easy to give it to them. They
Right.
make it really easy to give them money, but it does help you.
But I will say, but it's easy to give them money, but from working with my chapel page and specifically have seen results from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we use it from a HQ standpoint as well. So I know we're getting close to 9, so I don't want to lose any of this, because I do want to talk about the giving in July. So we're going to move ahead to scheduling a Facebook post. So this is to what Angela was talking about. So rather than having
Amber, I got to go. I'm going to see you guys later.
Okay, take care.
All right, have a good one.
You too, Patrick. So in terms of making sure that you're not spending all of your time on Facebook and scheduling things out, this is where we can talk about that. I'm not sure, Jordan, if this is you or who's jumping in here, but to go through the steps for this.
Yeah, sure. So like Amber said, it's super easy. You go to your page and you click like you're going to do a post normally. So there's a big box there, and you click it like you're going to start typing, and it'll pop up. And at the bottom there, like this arrow says, there's a place where you can schedule your post. So instead of publishing it right now, you can schedule it out days, weeks. I don't know if I recommend doing weeks, but days, definitely even throughout the month, if there's especially those holidays that come in, those marketing or messaging guide emails from Sam, scheduling those out on those specific days, and then you just don't have to think about it. So create your post as you normally would. You type the content in where it says write your post, you upload a photo if you have one, or upload a video or a link, whatever goes along with your post. And then next slide, Amber.
Yep.
Thank you. And then, so it's super, super self-explanatory. You click schedule instead of post now. And then I don't know if there's a screenshot of this on the next slide, but there's a calendar pops up. Yep. So you can pick the day, you can pick the time of day. As you start to plan content and see how people react to it, you may notice that certain times of day work better for your audience. So maybe paying attention to that. If people are up at 7 a.m. and responding most before they go to work, then that's the time that you schedule it. Or maybe it's Sunday night when everyone's on their laptop getting ready for work the next day, that's when you schedule it. So something to think about when you're scheduling. But again, pick the day, pick the time, and then you hit that button schedule, and it's out there in the schedule universe and ready to go for when you scheduled it. So if you do decide, I know we don't have a screenshot of it, but if you do decide that you scheduled something and then want to reschedule it for a different time or edit it, if you thought of a typo or thought you shared the wrong link, it will appear. If you refresh your Facebook page, it'll appear right at the top. It'll say you have 3 scheduled posts, and it's a live link, and you can click it and they'll pop up. And it's, again, very self-explanatory on how to edit them. There will be, you select one and you can edit it, or you can reschedule it, etc., or you can cancel it.
That's good. So you're not committed to it if you needed to make it. That's great. And then with scheduling comes tools and resources. And this is where we've kind of talked about this several times here tonight. And I noticed in the Facebook group, one of our group pages, I don't know if it was a location or sponsorship group page, there was a lot of folks asking if there was a webinar tonight and if they had gotten an email. So we did send out an email, which is, we'll have to check to see why people's email maybe it went into your junk folder, or it's possible that you might've changed the notification. So we'll have to check on that if you did not get an email, but we send out a location connection newsletter every month that it goes to location coordinators and sponsorship group leaders in the system that are active. And it has a lot of information about the month to come. It details about, HQ level events, things that could help you on the local level, downloadable material. But the biggest thing that I think is one of the most used tools is this social media monthly guide, messaging guide. So Sam puts this together, and she really puts a lot of time and effort into customizing it. It's all on brand. Wreaths Across America logo is incorporated into every piece. It highlights photos that have been submitted by folks from across the country over the years. It focuses on different holidays and important dates. and as well as just general messaging for Wreaths Across America from month to month that it's important to share. So we also post that every month, or at least we do post every month in the groups as well. And it's a great tool to use also on the Wreaths Across America official page. If you follow the official page, you can go to our photos and you can download. I mean, we have all of the photos that have ever been posted, all the graphics that have been posted get stored in that photos, and you can download any of those and use them yourself as well. So if you're ever in need of content, you can certainly go to that page and pull from there as well. I don't know, Sam, did you have anything else you wanted to add here? I know we've been talking about it all night, but just wanted to.
I'm good.
Okay. But, and this is, I won't talk to this though, Sam, on the graphics.
Yeah, so graphics are a good tool. Sometimes people just scroll by a post if it's just text, but if you have an image there, it will grab their attention. So we use Canva to create most of our graphics. You can get a free option of that, and it's just super easy. It gives you the correct size already, and it's super easy to use if anybody needs help or wants to figure out how to use it, or needs custom graphics and want me to create them. You can just reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a lot of photos too that we hear is the list of, so every year after National Wreaths Across America Day, we get, when I say literally hundreds, if not thousands of photos sent, rather both from social media to email, sent to us over the course of several months. We try and incorporate them and add them all to a place where they're made public, which is Flickr. So that's a good place to pull from. Susan and Sam both take photography on they both go on the convoy, and we capture all that photography, and we can make that available to people. So we do have a lot of photography. So, you know, we encourage you obviously to use photography from your cemetery and from your group to make it relevant to your community. But if you're ever in need, we certainly have plenty of photography to pull from. I think this is our last thing before the event. So, and then Facebook fundraisers, this is one of the biggest things that HQ gets questions about. Facebook fundraiser is an easy way. So I'll take birthdays, for example. Facebook is very smart like this. They prompt you when your birthday is coming up, if you want to host a fundraiser for the charity of your choice as an option for people to give you as a gift. It's a great way to raise funds for your sponsorship group or your location. The problem is, and the thing that people don't realize, is that when Wreaths Across America HQ we get a monthly check, I guess, or money gets sent to us from Facebook once a month. There is no allocation as to where that money came from aside from Facebook. So if we could have a month where 40 people held a Facebook fundraiser and one person raised $100, another person raised $1,000. We have no way of knowing whose funds that is. So you need to take responsibility to take kind of a before and after photo and make sure that it's sent to HQ. Charmin Davis is our Director of Finance, but you can certainly go through your liaison as well and let them know, I had this Facebook fundraiser, this is the group or the page or the location that it needs to be attributed to when the money comes in at the end of the month. Otherwise, HQ has no way of knowing. So just please be aware of that. It's one of those things that, you know, we can take your word for it, but there's a lot of people who are going to be giving us that information. So it's just easier if you have a photo. So just keep that in mind. And it is a great tool that they offer, but it's important to make sure you're keeping track of the funds that are coming in for you. And with that, I know we're a little over time, but I wanted to just take a few minutes here to talk about this weekend's event. So on Sunday, July 19th, we have our Giving in July virtual concert. We're pretty excited about this for a lot of reasons. You know, in the past, we've been limited to who can come to Maine for our event in July for Stem to Stone. And we kind of took the opportunity this year, given everything that's going on, to try doing this virtually and make it more about Giving in July, which really is the opportunity for us to highlight those sponsorship groups who are giving back in their communities throughout the year and who really are in need of those funds now. We have a great lineup of performers, from the Bellamy Brothers to, let's see, the U.S. Army Field Band 6-String Soldiers. We have Mark Wills and Craig Morgan. I'm forgetting names, but it's a great lineup, and more people are being added. Oh, Sawyer Brown just got added too, which we're excited about. It's going to be a great event. It's going to be live from HQ, so we'll be sharing a lot of information with you about, you know, ways to get involved with Wreaths Across America in your community. We're going to be highlighting sponsorship groups throughout the night who have submitted content about what they're doing in their community, and really giving everyone an opportunity to share how they're using the Wreaths Across America program to do good in their community. So what you can do from social media for that event is to share on the night of the event, to share the free concert via your social media channel. So whether that's your personal page or your actual sponsorship group page or location page for Wreaths Across America, we encourage you to share the page and share the event, the live event. And as part of that, in your post, let people know how you're involved. Give them the link, the direct link in your post when you're sharing it, on how people can support your program locally. So if you're using your $5 back to put together kits to send to veterans overseas or military overseas active duty, let people know that. Say, if you sponsor a wreath on our page today, we're going to get $5 back, and we're going to use that to put together these care packages to send to active duty military. Or we're going to use our $5 back to help this veterans program locally in our community right now. People need to understand how that $5 is going to make an impact in their community, so they know when they give that $15, not only are they sponsoring a wreath for December and honoring American hero and being part of the program, they're also helping today in their community. So by sharing the page and sharing with your audience, we get that extended reach, and that reaches new audiences. And our goal is obviously the more shares you get, the more reach, and the algorithm for social media, for Facebook, will basically help us see more and more people. And the goal is to reach new people throughout this event as well. You can also host a watch party, which I'm gonna let Michelle talk to. A watch party is a relatively newer functionality for Wreaths Across America, for Facebook. So I'm gonna let Michelle, you talk through about how the watch party works.
Sure. So yeah, watch parties have been around for a little while now, and these can be a really great opportunity anytime Wreaths Across America has put out video content, especially live streams from the HQ Facebook page, to kind of take that content and then repackage it for your local audience as something to connect around, and maybe be able to share a little bit of content about what you're doing on a local level. So there's a number of different ways to start a watch party. If you're already watching a live broadcast, you can do it directly from hitting the share on that video. Or if you are on your Facebook page or in a Facebook group that you're an admin of, you can also start to create a post from there. And you've probably noticed, if you've done any Facebook posting to a page before, that you have a couple of options that you can put in at the bottom there. Watch party will be one of them. So you can see this screenshot on the side here. And basically what that does is it kind of opens up a little interactive screen where you can interact with other people that are watching the video with you in real time. And you actually have the option to even put multiple videos together. So if you have a video from your ceremony from last year that you wanted to share for people to watch after they were done with the Giving in July broadcast or something like that, you definitely could do that as well. And you can also add in your own kind of commentary and have a live chat alongside with the video. So it can be a fun way to watch things together, especially something like a concert where you know, you're enjoying the music, but you're not necessarily actively listening to someone speak every single moment of it. And we're going to send all of these slides out. So
Yeah, absolutely.
there's a lot of stuff here that you can do with it, but we'll send you more information on that.
Yeah, and the night of the concert, we're going to create a watch party in all of the private groups. So we'll create a watch party in the locations Facebook group and the sponsorship group private page, as well as the Moving the Mission, and we'll create those parties there as well. But really, it's just another way to reach new people. Our goal for the live stream really is for people to be engaged on the actual live event. So you know, throughout the night, we encourage you to go to the Wreaths Across America Facebook page, even if you're sharing it on your own page. And if people are saying, hey, I'm watching from Tallahassee, and, you know, let them know, hey, I support this sponsorship group or location nearby, and share the direct link. We're going to be doing that. Our team will be online and really engaging with anyone who's commenting or posting throughout the night. Our goal is to help sponsorship groups and locations raise some awareness and get some support on the local level. So we really want to be identifying pages and sending out links. So don't be shy. We encourage you to come on and use that, but also to just share it with your followers and provide regular updates throughout the night as well. I think it's going to be a fun event. We're really excited about the music. We're really excited about our guests. And then obviously, you know, be sure to, after the event is over, we'll be making it available a few different ways after the fact. And we can do that and we'll be sending out via email, so that if you wanted to repurpose it for other content throughout the rest of the year, we encourage you to do that as well. So, so just on the night of the event, we encourage you to log into Facebook, comment on the Wreaths Across America official page on the feed, and let people know what you're doing in your community. We're going to have reach, national reach. There's going to be people from all over the country who are going to be watching this. We've put a lot of energy, and we've gotten a lot of local media and national media interest in this event. So there'll be people watching from around the country. It's your opportunity to share details about what you're doing in your community and encourage people to give to you. So we encourage
Amber,
you.
is there any way to watch it except on live Facebook?
So yes, we just found that out today, actually. We are going to be able to embed it in on a page on Wreaths Across America's site. So we will be embedding the live feed into our site on the page that, and we'll make that available in an email to all of our groups and locations this week.
And
So we also are going to be
pass on Wreaths Radio too.
Yes, and thank you. Yes, it's also going to be live. It's going to be, you can listen on Wreaths Radio live too.
And this is Karen again. First off, I want to thank, I don't know if Renee's still on, but she worked her tush off to get the lineup, but it's not just about the concert. It's really good to have the musicians and them sending out messages, and most of those musicians have actually been to the up here to Maine and know exactly what we're about. But I think what I like about it, and what I think is a great opportunity for you as fundraising groups and locations, is that the evening is also going to tell the story. Maura will be throughout the evening making the wreath and telling them what the wreath means, and then we'll be sharing some of the things that Wreaths Across America does throughout the year, leading up to the the laying of the wreaths and how important the education piece is. So I think if you've got some people that might be on the fence as corporate donors, it's a good opportunity to invite them to tune in to learn more about what we do and what our reach is beyond just the laying of the wreaths. Because today, the times that we're in today, I think the teach peace and the patriotism and the fact that we're not just Wreaths Across America, we're like-minded Americans across America, and that's a big theme of what we're going to be doing. And so I want to take the opportunity to thank all of you for being here, because to see this many people tonight is very encouraging given the crazy times we live in. But it's going to be a fantastic event. A lot of people, especially I think Renee, has really gone above and beyond in this. So take this opportunity. If you combine this with making it an event, doing the invitations, and showing people how they can give to you within your community, I think it can really kickstart us on having a great year.
Mm-hmm. Can I ask too, and this might be a silly question, but Jordan, if we have an event on our Wreaths Across America official page, can other pages share that event to their page?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
I was just having a side conversation with Rochelle about this actually. So I think this is one of the few events, because it is so like large and national, that this would be one that we would ask that they share it, as opposed to requesting co-hosts or creating one of their own.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can share it, and then and also we had a link, we'll be sending out some emails this week, so to all locations and group leaders, with more information on how to share, with a reminder for your calendar. It's Sunday evening. We thought a lot about this, but given everything that's going on in the world and most people are home at this point, we thought it'd be a nice time. It's going to be some great entertainment, some great music, and a really good message. And I think it's family friendly. Anyone can watch. We really hope that folks will join us and be willing to share what you're doing, because that's the biggest piece here for us. The whole Giving in July concept is because we have these groups who are doing so much in their community year round, and Wreaths Across America just happens to be the program that they use to help themselves do it and to bring their community together. And that's where we think there's really an opportunity for people to understand how they can give back in more than one way by helping support a local group. So don't be shy. We want to hear from you, and we want you to chime in. We're going to have our folks all online, and happy to share your link, and we're going to be pulling direct links for all kinds of pages and posting them fast and furious. So be sure to.
Well, and we might have a nice announcement of a new campaign that we're doing too, guys. So, we can change it up there too. We have some exciting announcets. Maybe Listen, she's not selling it. I'm watching right now.
I'm watching.
No,
well,
yeah.
Amber, we'll let you know at least the day before. Yeah, it's all good.
She knows. She knows. Okay. No, but we are going to have some giveaways, announcement of a new campaign we're doing. But it's a really good way to really start that engagement, and the relevancy around the message that Karen will give is going to really hit home for a lot of people. And I think you're going to be able to really utilize that in your communities, because it's going to come back down to communities, and building ourselves in our communities and back up. And this is going to be a great way to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we hope to see you guys there. If there's any questions, like I said, please reach out to your liaison. They can put you in direct touch with any member of this team to help you get started or answer any specific questions you might have or customize anything you might need. I think there's a lot of folks who are utilizing social media really well, but excuse me, my cat's pushing my thing. But there's also a lot of people who just haven't done it yet, because I think it might seem intimidating, but really it's not, and we're here to help you. So just keep that in mind. We want everyone to be successful, and we want you to have fun with it, and we want you to to reach your audiences, and it's a great way to do that. So appreciate everyone coming on tonight, and I know it's late, so I don't want to, we're at 9:15, but I'm not sure, I haven't heard are there any questions that need to be answered that haven't been answered yet in the chat, Julie?
I think we should set a number of viewers, if we get to, Amber, that you will actually sing.
What?
If we get to a certain number of viewers, then you can sing. So we should set that goal and put it out there.
I'm not allowed to even sing in the car at my house, so I'm not really sure if that's a good idea for anybody. Susan can sing. I'm sure we can get her and you to sing. You guys sound
No. But before we sign off, I will tell everybody, though, that this week, when Michael W. Hale has been doing live interviews on Wreaths Across America Radio with some of the performers that are going to be in Sunday night's concert. And tomorrow morning, here's the promo, right, ladies and gentlemen? Tomorrow morning, 9:15 a.m. Well, wait a minute, back up. 8:15 a.m. Eastern. He'll be speaking with Angela Beeson and Arkansas Run for the Fallen about the $5 give back program and the sponsorship program there. But he will also be speaking with Mark Miller tomorrow morning of Sawyer Brown at 9:15 tomorrow morning. So tune in. Cool. Wreaths Across America Radio is really keeping you connected in between times with everything that's going on. So it's pretty cool.
I have a quick question. This is Pat Tarantino.
Hi, Pat.
About how long is this event going to be? The rate?
Well, it's going to be 3 hours, best of intentions. It might go a little bit long, but it's going to be 7 to 10. The longest that Facebook will allow us to go is 4 hours. So
Okay.
it won't go beyond that.
Yeah, I was going to put that in there when we put it on, so people knew if they couldn't be there at 7, they can jump at 8.
Yep, 7 to 10. And then we'll also make the link after the fact. We'll make it available for people to watch after the fact as well. So,
Okay.
but we certainly would love for people to join us. And the way Facebook works, it's interesting. I mean, shares in a lot of ways, when people share a feed, it does more positively for your reach than just liking it. So we really encourage people to like and share with their audience, because it's that ripple effect of one person. What did Karen say? I wrote down like 50 quotes from Karen yesterday because I had a couple hours of time with her. It's the impact of one is the honor of many, and that's really what Wreaths Across America is. All it takes is for one person to share it with somebody who did not know about it and can learn about the program by watching, and that's one more person who's interested in Wreaths Across America. So
Great.
that's how this grows. It's that ripple effect.
Thank you.
Awesome.
We're gonna have a virtual t-shirt gun. We're gonna be throwing out some free stuff too. That'll be too fun. Not a virtual hot dog gun, but we could do that in the office while we're there, but it's gonna be fun, and we'll try to answer questions too. We're gonna be watching, and tell us where you're coming from, but you can use it to, like we said, increase your outreach and just let people know that we're alive and well, because we've talked about that in the office. People are a little tentative, wondering if there will be Wreaths Across America Day, and I will go on record right now as saying, yes, there will be Wreaths Across America Day, and we will continue to honor against all odds, COVID and otherwise. So this is a mission. You're all part of that, and we really appreciate it.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you, Karen, for being here, and for everyone for joining us tonight. I appreciate us going a little bit long, but hope everyone has a wonderful night and a great day tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Night.
Good night.
Night.